Hello, hi everyone.
Hello, Sarah.
Hi.
How are you today, Sarah?
Good, good. Okay. All right. We can start now, right? Okay.
Sure, sure, can.
Hello. All right. Hello, hi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning. Okay. Today we meet again for Masa Avenue International College Virtual Open Day. And as for this virtual open day, we School of Business and Accountancy, okay, brought to you another interesting topic to be discussed. And together with me today, we bring you another special guest speaker, and also a first time with MAIC to discuss another interesting topic that might be can open our eyes regarding entrepreneurship. All right. So before we start, I would like to have a warm welcome to Encik Muhammad Yusof, Muhammad Jani, the founder of NAFA Northern Enterprise, and he also experienced as a lecturer at School of Business Management, University Utara Malaysia. So, hi, Cik Yusof. How are you today?
Okay, I'm fine, Sarah. Thank you.
All
Very
right.
well, thank you.
Okay, we meet again this time, but obviously now we are collaborating in different environment now rather than previously one. All right. So,
Okay.
I am Nur Saada Rehana Afandi, also Sarah, well known as Sarah from Schools of Business and Accountancy. So today we would like to talk another special topic. I think most of us familiar when I mentioned about entrepreneur. So just a brief introduction. Encik Yusof managed NAFA Northern Enterprise for almost about 15 years now. Besides that, he is also has experience as a manager for few franchise, okay, such as Pizza Hut, Kenny Rogers, and also Shakers Pizza for about 10 years. And plus, he is also a member of Malaysian Franchise Association as well. So today, in conjunction with Intuitions as the theme for this month open day, um, we bring you another special topic, which is the role of intuition in entrepreneurship in business practice. So, as today we bring expert guest speaker to talk about this topic, we will explore on how intuition help in the decision making, especially in this challenging business environment. So basically, when we talk about the intuition, we can say that this is unconscious analysis based on past experience. So we bring uh, one of entrepreneurship that has a vast experience in business to talk about the role of intuition in entrepreneurship in business. So without further delay, as an introduction, yeah, Cik Yusof, many entrepreneurs attribute their success to their intuitions. Oprah once stated that her business skills have come from being guided by her intuition. Even Bill Gates also said that you cannot ignore your intuition. So, Encik Yusof, what do you mean, based on your perspective, what do you mean by the intuition? And is it important that intuition plays vital role in the entrepreneurship?
Okay, thank you very much, Sarah, and also the management of College International, right? Uh, okay, before I continue the explanation of intuition in entrepreneurship, so I would like to say thank you very much, especially to the management because you are, invited me as a speaker on this topic, the role of intuition. So when I look at this topic of intuition, I feel, it's quite tough for me to explain because, as we know, in entrepreneurship, the role of intuition, even though nobody denied the importance of intuition in decision making process, but a lot of reference book in entrepreneurship, the authors of the entrepreneurship is discussed more on the ordinary or the scientific decision making process compared to the intuition decision making process. Okay, I also very grateful to have this kind of topic because I got opportunity to learn something about this, right? Because of this topic, I try to understand what intuition actually in the context of, especially in the context of entrepreneurship. So before I give my opinion about this intuition entrepreneurship, let me read the definition given by the definition of intuition from the dictionary, right? Okay, I refer to the Oxford Advanced Learners International Student 7 edition in 2005. Explain the intuition is the ability to know something by using your feeling rather than considering the fact, right? And intuition also can be defined as an idea or a strong feeling that something is true, although you cannot explain why, right? So, by answering your question just now, the word of intuition based on this definition by the from the dictionary is something that you are proposing idea based on your experience, but not based on the ordinary process of doing things, right? For example, if you want to make any decision making, intuition is a process of intuition is based on the process of addressing problem or addressing or giving what we call solution. You come up with solution based on your intuition, right? Or gerak hati, your gerak hati to make the decision, right? It is not, as I said just now, it is not based on the ordinary process. The ordinary process, what I'm trying to say here, the ordinary process is the process to setting up your objective, to collect the data, to analyze the data, to implement. After you implement, you review the process, and the same circle is is doing, right? But in the context of intuition, you have to act fast, right? You got not much time to collect data, to discuss, to have meeting and all that. But the role of the managers or the role of entrepreneurs to make decision is very important in this context. So that is what I understand about the intuition, especially in the context of entrepreneurship. Okay, in other words, you are making the decision you are doing the process of decision making based on your
Sense.
uh, cognitive style, right? Based on your cognitive style, based on your experience, based on your knowledge, deep
Mm,
knowledge, and this action must be taken, or the idea of addressing any problem must be taken immediately. Uh, that is
mm.
that is the process of institution in the context of entrepreneurship.
I see. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Means that from what you said just now, intuition actually important plays an important, a vital role in the entrepreneurship, especially when we do not want to do in terms of the ordinary process, like which mean we are in a short of time. We don't have much time to collect all the data and so on and so forth. So basically, our past experience is helping us much to help us analyze the situation in a quick uh, way lah, in a quick time. So without we referring to the facts and also the ordinary process that you have been mentioned just now. So as for
Yeah.
the other
Can
question,
I add something
again,
to it?
can sure.
Okay. In order to stress the word of inspiration, I still remember when I was in Pizza Hut, 15 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
because I used to become outlet manager during that time. So the process of inspiration that I have, that I did during or when I was in Pizza Hut, when I handled the customer complaint,
I
right?
see.
So once the customer complaint, let's say the customer complaint because of the pizza is late, or the quality of pizza is not good, and they come to you and talk to you. So
Mm-hmm.
they came to you, they are very angry with the quality of product and so on, right? So as a manager, what you need to do to handle the situation is that you must be a good listener first, right? Listen to
Mm-hmm.
to the customer. Listen to whatever they want to say. Just give them the time to say whatever they want, right? So you as outlet manager during that time, what should you do in order to handle the complaint? So this is where the institution as a manager comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make immediate decision, right? Because the customer, if you do not give any solution to the customer because they are very angry with you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Maybe they will report to the HQ. One of the one of the action that might be taken by the customer, or
Mm-hmm.
they want or they viral this issue in Medic social, for example, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
as an outlet manager, what should you take in order to address the issue is that what I had done during that time is that I tell the customer, I listen to the customer's complaint. Okay, I promise the customer to make sure this thing is not happen again, and
Mm-hmm.
I give it free to the I
Customer.
give it free to the customer. So the customer no need to pay, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you said, okay, sir, I'm very sorry. Okay, you no need to pay for the pizza. Okay, I will pay for it. So then I promise to you that this thing is not happen again. So when you promise to the customer that you're giving free pizza to the customer, they start calm down, they start cool, and from my point of view, by giving free pizza to the customer, the situation can be addressed, right? So they start cool and then they left the restaurant. That's it. If what happened
Mm.
if I okay, what happened if I argue with the customer? So this
They will be
situation,
turned around.
yes, the situation become worse. Fair enough. So this is where the inspiration is comes in, and the important in the process of decision making, right?
I
So
see.
you got no time. You got no time to discuss the customer's complaint with your area manager, to discuss the customer complaint with the marketing manager. So you as an outlet manager, you have to make the decision yourself, right?
Mm.
So then you overcome one problem during that time. So this is
Mm.
my inspiration is to giving by giving free pizza to the customer, then the issue is settled. That is one example based
Mm.
on my experience.
Oh, okay. All right. So I think this is suit with our second question for
Okay.
during this interview. So as Cik Yusof mentioned just now, there would be like a process or guideline in order for us to get to use intuition in the business. So as for the second question, is there any process or guideline that an entrepreneur may need to go through in order to have effective intuition skills or traits?
Okay. As I mentioned to you just now, Sarah, that in the process of in the decision making process, we have two. One is in scientific decision making process, and one is intuition or intuitive decision making process. So as
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned just now, the scientific decision making process. um right? For example, you set up your objective first, and then you collect the data, you analyze the data, you implement, and then you review your implementation, right? Then the same circle, will be done, right? Will be done in order to to make the decision.
Mm-hmm.
But in okay, before that, the advantages of having scientific decision making process is that the failure of your decision can be reduced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though it consuming a lot of time, right? But the failure can be reduced, and the scientific decision making process is a written decision, right? Written decision making, right? Written decision making process. Unlike intuitive decision making process, is that the guideline to have this kind of process is that the first thing is that the manager or the owner of the venture must have good knowledge. Good knowledge, accumulation knowledge is very essential in this context, right?
Mm-hmm.
How to get good knowledge? Okay, the first one you need to have you need to read a lot, right? You need to attend seminars, training, and so on. You need to develop your own networking, right? That is how you develop that is how you if you want to have good knowledge or experience in doing things. So another guideline to have a good intuitive decision making process is that uh, you need to equip yourself with skill, right? You need
Mm-hmm.
to equip yourself with skill. For example, if you are lacking skill in marketing, you have to go to a short courses to attend short courses of marketing. If you are lacking in terms of accounting, for example, you are lacking in terms of financial, how to record the financial data and all that. So you need to attend for that short courses. So by equip yourself with the skill, then you can become more competitive in doing the process of decision making. So that by having by uh, by by using intuitive decision making process, you can reduce a lot of time, and you
Mm-hmm.
can reduce a lot of capital as well. Am I right,
Mm-hmm.
Sarah? So
Oh
that
yeah, true.
you know,
Correct.
uh, you can address any issue. You can grab the opportunity, right? By using your intuitive decision making, right? It's quite
Yeah,
difficult
true.
to it's quite difficult to pronounce the word, right? So that is
Yeah,
quite difficult also to explain. You know.
yeah.
Okay?
Because
So
yeah,
that is there's no from my point of view, there's no standard procedure. There's no proper guideline to in by using intuitive in by using intuitive in the decision making process. Okay, Sarah?
true.
I think that's
All
all.
right.
Uh,
Basically, as I can summarize, is that to have a good intuition skills, that to have a great sixth sense in order for us to make a decision in a business, is that we have to read lots. We have must have occupied ourselves with the knowledge, and also we need to add on extra skills in order for us enable to decide or make decision based on our intuition. So, as
yeah,
for the third question, um, entrepreneurship is about individual who create opportunities where others do not. All right. So, based on your vast experience, how can an entrepreneur exploit those opportunities, and how does intuition relate in guiding entrepreneurs in searching for the opportunities?
okay, Sarah. Actually there are a lot of opportunities in entrepreneurship, right? If you
Mm,
look at if you study the micro environment, such as in the context of politics, economy, social, culture, and technology, there are a lot of opportunities there, right? The entrepreneurship can grab these opportunities. Okay, another source of opportunities is government policy, for example, right? Um,
mm,
as you know, that the government introduced the policy of kemakmuran bersama by year 2030, right? In order to
mm,
achieve the objective in economic in dasar kemakmuran bersama. So there are a lot of planning. There are a lot of entrepreneurship activity, right? Will be created by the government agency, for example. So this is part of the
mm,
opportunity for the entrepreneur out there, right? And also the government provided financial assistance, right, and training, and also entrepreneurship programs such as usahawan muda, franchise, and a lot of things.
mm,
And this is also the opportunity can be grasped by the entrepreneurs out there. So, how
mm,
to exploit? The question that you throw to me just now is that how to exploit those opportunities. The first one is that you need to have plan. Planning is very
mm,
important, right? For example,
yeah.
as an entrepreneur, if you want to become good in running a business, you need to have plan. For example, business plan, right? You need to write business
Mm,
plan. To write business plan is not easy process, right? You need to
yeah.
it consume a lot of time. It consume a lot of data. For example, it requires or it require a lot of statistics, right? To convene
Mm,
the financial institution in order to get loan, for example, right? Planning is very important,
mm,
right? in relation to the planning, you need to have capital, right? Without capital,
Mm.
you go nowhere, right? You need to have capital. By having good financial strength, you can do whatever you can implement, you can execute whatever plan that you have been planning.
Mm.
The third one is training, right? You need to have skilled employees. You need to have skilled people working in an organization. So training is essential in this context, right? So in order to develop training, right, it's not cheap. Training is quite expensive.
Mm.
Okay, we
Mm.
are very lucky because the government established HRDS. Have you
Mm.
ever heard the word of HRDS?
Yeah, I heard.
HRDS stands for Human Resource Development Fund, right? Because of this,
Mm.
you can send your employees to to train your staff to the HRDS because they have a lot of fun, right?
Mm.
Besides that, you also need to have management team, right?
Mm.
By having good management team, you can focus whatever you plan, right? And this management team consists of people who are experts in their area. For example, you need to have people good in marketing. For example, you have people good
Mm.
in human resource. You have people good in production. You have people good in financial. Right? By
Mm.
form a team, then you can execute the plan much more easier. Okay.
Mm.
And the last one, from my point of view, how to exploit these opportunities is that you need to have research and development infrastructure in your organization,
Mm.
right? By having R&D, then you provide the R&D department with the fund, and you give them freedom to do the activity of creativity and innovation. Then you can come up with new product line, and you can come up with new process, and then you can come up with you can value add the existing product or the existing service. So this is how, from
Mm.
my point of view, the entrepreneur can exploit the opportunities out there. Yes.
Mm. All right. So, as I can conclude that the most important thing is that we need to have a plan, and also we need to occupy with the capital training and also R&D department as a plus for us uh, uh, exploit those opportunity available for our business. So as I remember, once of the book from Sun Tzu says that tactics change in an infinite variety of ways to suit changes in the circumstances. So, but then there will be no single plan works well for everyone and everywhere. So, uh, they said that if your plan are too rigid, you will not be able to adjust with the circumstances. So, as for now, the intuitions that breed great strategies and great plan can only come when we are in touch with the situation. So, as for the next question, Encik Yusof, if entrepreneurs are to succeed in today's rapidly changing environment, decision need to be rapid as well. Too rapid to allow for an orderly sequential analysis for a situation. So, Encik Yusof, sharing your expertise, what might be some of the challenges that may restrict entrepreneurs to make decisions in this dynamic environment towards achieving success in the business?
Okay. I think nobody will deny the obstacle in doing business, right? Uh,
Mm,
there are a lot of challenges, okay, in running the business, in managing the business, right? From my point of view, one of the challenges in running the business is that not enough budget. right? Not
Mm.
enough budget. So if you have good financial planning, if you have good financial strength, so whatever plan, whatever things that you plan, you can execute easier, right? Because you have budget. So this is one of the challenges in running the business, right? So by having good budget or by having good or sufficient capitalization, you can develop, you can you can have a staff development program, for example. You
Mm.
can equip your staff with multidiscipline knowledge, for example. And another
Mm.
thing that from my point of view, when you have good budget, you can plan for business expansion, right?
Mm.
So business expansion is one of the indicator that you are growing, but
Mm.
without sufficient capitalization, how to grow, how to expand, am I right? So that
Mm.
budget or financial strength is one of the from my point of view is one of the prerequisite in running a business, success in the business, especially in nowadays, right? The
Mm.
second thing is that you have too many planning, right? Too many planning, and you are not able to identify which one is the priority one. Okay,
Mm.
too many planning is okay, but you need to choose the priority. So focus on the
Mm.
priority, right? Since
Mm.
the resources are limited, for example, capital limited, human resource limited, raw material limited,
Mm.
technology is limited, right? So how you
Mm.
combine all the limited resources to become effective and efficient, so that
Mm.
in order to focus your planning is now, you need to choose the priority one, right? You need to choose the priority.
Mm.
So too many planning is one of the challenges, right? So another one is that the bureaucracy in organization structure, right?
Mm.
You if you have stall organization structure, so the decision making process take too long. So what you need to do
Mm.
in order to address the issue of bureaucracy is that empower your middle manager to make the decision.
Mm. Mhm.
Do you get what I mean? Right?
Yeah,
Decision
yeah,
can be
I
made.
understand. Yeah.
Decision can be made by giving empowerment to your middle manager so that you can shorten the
Mm.
process of decision making. So challenges is
Yeah,
that
true.
bureaucracy in organization. Uh,
Mm.
right.
All right. So, as I can conclude is that in this situation, the challenge might be come out from the budget, the financial constraints, and also person, we need to think of the priority in choosing the plan, the best plan, and also we need to think about giving the opportunity and empowerment to the middle managers to make decision in the organization. All right. So as for the next question, understanding how and why entrepreneurs make certain decisions require an understanding how information is collected and assimilated. There are two ways, intuitive and also analytical. Okay, can you explain what's the difference between these two approach are? And in your opinion, which one is better choice in making decision?
Okay. As I explained in the earlier, in the earlier just now, that there are
Mm,
two approaches, right? One in analytical and one intuitive, right? Sorry, I
mm,
got problem to pronounce the word, right? It's okay, but as I mentioned just now, the analytical approaches is how you you come up with planning and implementation. Uh, by in the context of logical or scientific process, right? Scientific process means,
Mm.
as I mentioned just now, you setting up, you set your objective first, right? You need to have objective. What you want to achieve. For example, you want to add another product line for your business,
Mm.
right? So that is your,
Mm.
yeah, that is your objective, right? By end of this year, for example, you want to have another product line. Okay, that is your objective.
Mm.
So that before you go for the after you set the objective, you need to have data. You need to have some information from the customers, for example, right? You can do group focus activities, or you can brainstorm
Mm.
activities, right? In order to choose what uh, what is the best way, right?
Mm.
Can be done, can be executed in
Mm.
the process of having new product line at the end of the year. Okay, that is one.
Mm.
So based on the information, based on the data that you get it from the floor, for example, the data must be analyzed. You need to
Mm.
analyze, right? Based on the analyzed data, you need to check the pro and cons by by using the data, right? So that
Mm.
based on the a lot of proposal from the staff, from the what we call um, from the brainstorming session, for example, you need to select the best of the best,
Mm.
right? You cannot
Mm.
simply implement, because too many. If you take all you are not able to implement all the idea, right? All the ideas. So that you
Mm.
need to select the best of the best ideas that you think suitable for the suitable with your budget, and also can be implemented, right? So that once
Mm.
you get the best data, and then you implement the idea. Okay, once you implement the idea, you need to do the revision process. You need to review,
Mm.
right? You need to review the process,
Mm.
just to make sure that the idea that you implement just now is really good in the context of in the context of business, right? That is the
Mm.
analytical data, right? Analytical data.
Mm.
But unlike intuitive, right? Intuitive process, uh, as I mentioned just now, the process of intuitive is that you can you can reduce a lot of time, you can reduce lot of budget to
Mm.
to implement something by
Mm.
by proposing idea immediately, right? But
Mm.
in order to propose the idea immediately, especially from the senior manager, or senior
Mm.
CEO, for example, uh,
Mm.
you have two conditions, right? If you are proposing a good idea, and this idea is very good to implement, and you can come up with something good for your company, that is good,
Mm.
because
Mm.
because of this creative idea, you you can come up with new product line. You can come up. You can add with. You can come up with new process, for example, and you can save a lot of time, right? But that is the advantages of having intuitive in the decision making process. But
Mm.
the disadvantage is that what if your idea that you proposed just now is not work,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So that the failure, yeah, might be happen, right? The failure might be happen.
Mm.
Unlike the scientific decision making process, okay, you can reduce the failure of doing things because of you
Mm.
are really analyze the data. You are really discuss
Mm.
about this, and you can implement
Mm.
according to what you think is good for your company, right? So that is
Mm.
two the differences between the process of intuitive and also analytical.
All right. Okay. So, last but not least, before we end our session, all right. So, what advice that you would want to give to those entrepreneurs to be? Might be you can advise to them what are the ways that can they go or choose in order for them to be an entrepreneur, because most that we can see nowadays, the youngsters nowadays are eager and more prefer to open up their own business. So what would be your advice to those entrepreneurs to be?
Okay. Actually, there are a lot of factor. There are a lot of advice. If you want to advise someone, if they want to involve in a business, but you know, among of the I think good advice to especially for the new entrepreneurs. The first one is that
Mm,
you need to check your intention, your niat, right? So
mm,
why you want to involve in business,
mm,
right? So what is your intention, right? So based on
mm,
you are guided, yeah, you are guided by your intention. Let's say you want to your intention is that you want to um helping people, right? By selling food, for example, right?
mm,
When you are involved in food and beverage business, for example, you are selling food, you are selling beverage to the especially like myself, right? Like myself,
mm,
I'm in F&B, right? I'm selling
mm,
corn and cup, I'm selling waffle, I'm selling ice cream and
mm,
pasta as well. So my intention is that
mm,
I want to give something variety of taste to the student, right?
mm,
So at least I'm giving something different. Daripada you apa balik-balik tengah hari you nak makan nasi campur saja kan. So that why not you give
mm, yeah.
you are selling something different than nasi campur, right? That is your intention,
Mm,
right? Beside that,
mm,
definitely you want to making money from the business, right? That is the first
mm,
one is look at your niat first, right? Your intention.
mm,
So another advice to especially for a new entrepreneur is that again, you need to have sufficient capitalization. Okay, you need to have capital. Even though
mm,
capital is not the solely factor in running the business, but capital is is one of the main component in running a business. Right? Without
mm,
capital, without having sufficient capital, you go nowhere. I stress this again, right? Why I involved in
mm,
my business because I have capital. my own capital,
Mm.
right? I'm not
Mm.
loan from any government agencies or from the financial institution, but I'm using my own capital. If I don't have
Mm.
capital, I don't think that I can have one small kiosk in UUM, right? So in order to
Mm.
have the kiosk, it requires about 30,000
Mm.
uh, investment, right? So that
Mm.
again, to have sufficient capital is very important, right?
Mm.
Nowadays, if you look at government agencies or financial institutions, they won't loan you 100%, right?
Mm.
The loan may be up to 70% or 90%. So where to get another 30%? You still need to have money.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
still need
true.
to have your own money, right? So
Mm.
capital again is very important. So the
Mm.
third thing, advice to those who are willing to venture in new business, you need to accumulate your knowledge,
Mm.
right? You need to have
Mm.
experience. Okay, it doesn't mean that within a week you read everything, you gain knowledge. No, this is the process of
Mm.
accumulate the knowledge, right?
Mm.
Reading, attending seminars, training, right? Go for
Mm.
any conferences, develop your networking is essential in this context,
Mm.
right? And again, the fourth advice is that try to equip yourself with multidisciplinary knowledge, right? As an
Mm.
entrepreneur, you need to, at least you need to have knowledge in marketing. You need to have knowledge in
Mm.
handling customer. You need to have knowledge in what we call handling your employee. You need to have knowledge
Mm.
in financial, for example, right? So you need to equip yourself. If you are feel that you are
Mm.
lacking in terms of marketing knowledge, then go for look for short courses in marketing or
Mm.
read
Yeah,
marketing
true.
book. Why not, right?
Mm.
So the last
Yeah.
but not least is that you need to have right attitude, right? Being
Mm.
an entrepreneur, you need to have right attitude. So what does it mean, right attitude in this context? Okay, your mindset must be must be right? So
Mm.
uh, being an entrepreneur, you need to you need to be matured, right? Because by if you have good maturity, you can handle the situation. Okay, without
Mm.
maturity and tenacity, I believe that if customer complain, for example, or if
Mm.
your staff manipulating money, for example, it's quite difficult for you to handle the situation,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
So
true.
the right attitude, right? Doing the business, make sure that the customer is satisfied. Okay, especially in the context of food and beverage, we are stressing we are stressing the context of in the context of QSC, for example, right? Quality, service, and
Mm.
cleanliness, right?
Yeah, true.
Uh, you need to look into the quality of the product. You need to look into the quality
Mm.
of service. Okay, and
Mm. Yeah.
service, right? Service is very important. You have to make sure that your
Mm.
customer is satisfied with your service, right?
Mm.
We
Yeah,
want
true.
the customer to come again to your outlet.
Mm.
We do
Yeah.
not want the customer. This is first and last. I come to your outlet. So this kind of situation is is not good in doing business, right? And cleanliness
Mm.
as well, right? Cleanliness ataupun kebersihan is very
Mm.
important especially in F&B,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So I think having good or having right attitude is another factor or another advice, especially to those who like to involve in running your own business.
All right. So, a very such a good advice that we can, take for those who want to be as an entrepreneur, whereby you have must to think of what is your intention first, and then you need to have enough financial, enough capital, and then you need to occupy yourself with the knowledge, with the training, a good networking, and also the right attitude and mindset. So, Cik Yusof, we have come to an end of our webinar session today. It was very interesting topic to discuss. So for that, Cik Yusof, maybe in the future we can collaborate again with another interesting topic, inshallah. To all viewers, participants, academicians, and also Masa Avenue International College staff, thank you for joining us and also listened and watch our live session today with our special guest, Encik Muhammad Yusof from NAFA Northern Enterprise. And thank you, Cik Yusof, for your time, and
Yeah,
we
welcome,
appreciate your
welcome,
commitment.
Sarah. Yeah,
All
welcome.
right. We appreciate your commitment and participation to share with us in this interesting topic. So, to all the viewers out there, if you want to know more about Masa Avenue International College, feel free to browse our website at www.maic.edu.my, and you can also drop your message and contact our expert to get to know more about our program from School of Business and Accountancy, as our school are offering a diploma in human resource, business, accounting, and also certificate in business. So for that, the time has ended. Um, Thank you, Cik Yusof, again, and thank you to our organizer, Ms. Suhaila, to arrange this live session today. And thank you, everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye and Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome.